get into it, man. We're here.
Can I say your last name in the intro or no?
Of course you can, man. But it's been yeah. Go for it.
Were you gonna say I was gonna mispronounce it?
I was gonna say I've been switching between my anglicized pronunciation of it and the traditional pronunciation of my last name.
Well, tell me your traditional, because we like to be open-minded on this podcast.
Thank you very much, thank you, and I really appreciate that, and that's why I'm here. We've been going by Daniel Souza a lot for most of these 25 years that I've been on this planet. But recently we've been going with Souza. And Souza. And that's just a result of plenty of Portuguese and Spanish speakers being like, dude, what the hell are you doing with your last name? Why the hell do you say it that way, man?
That's so funny. Dude, people at work, there's this one guy who calls me Cody, and this other lady calls me Michael, and this other guy calls me Connor, and I have one of them especially I've let happen way too many times, and I'm just like, I'm Connor now to this guy. Like, I don't give a fuck, to be honest, and I think he's got to figure it out at one point, and I'm awaiting the conversation where he's like, why did you never correct me? And I was told he was sensitive, so I didn't want to make him upset, because he says hi to me every day. I'm like, that's nice of him, he doesn't need to do that. But he calls me Connor. Whatever.
You should probably say that. You should, when he says dude, why did you never call me by? Why didn't you never tell me what your name was? You should say, oh, dude, because I was told you were super sensitive, man.
See what he says. That would probably be great. He would probably stop saying hi to me. But,
yeah.
I can't tell if these people upstairs are stomping. I'm recording in the dorm, and I can't tell if these people are just quiet or if the insulation of the sound's good. So these people who I was just pitching startups to, and told them that I will push the button on drone strikes whenever they need to do it. As long as I get a good kickback, I will not say anything about what happens, and I've gotten a lot of requests, but anyway. Fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the 121st rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Broke Up, and me, Cooper. Joining us today, very special guest, a modern Renaissance man, a writer, an actor, a trendsetter. Literally the first person I ever met in my entire life that was vegan. You were vegan when there was nowhere to get vegan food, and it flabbergasted me. I'm like, how do you survive? But you were a trendsetter. You battled through, and now it's probably more popular than eating meat. But joining us today, Mr. Dan Souza, right?
Bow, bow, bow. You nailed it, man.
Yeah. See, I'm very open-minded here. I got told to stop saying Souza like I've been mispronouncing it's the Portuguese names, man. We have our fill-in guy for Aaron 50% of the time when he's in Ireland. His name is, we call him Pavo, and come to find out that's not his name. It's Paveo. And this whole time we've been mispronouncing it. So I'm sorry to your Portuguese brethren. You guys are probably cousins at some point.
We've been taking a lot of shit recently, man.
The Portuguese have been taking a lot of shit recently. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Nah, man, I'm just fucking spitballing, man.
Well, they could be. They're a conqueror. At some point, they got to be taking some shit.
Oh, hold on, bro. No, they're the opposite of taking shit right now, man. They're they fucking decriminalized they've had all drugs decriminalized in Portugal for mad long.
Sounds like a lot of
they're trendsetters.
Just like I am a trendsetter with veganism. The Portuguese government they are trendsetters when it comes to the decriminalization of your hardest and most favorite drugs.
Any drug you can do.
Aaron, you said you were trying to set up a Portugal trip, right?
I do want to go to Portugal because they're real geekers.
Hey.
They get geeky out there. So
Geeky.
Yeah, geeky. What do you mean, man? Wait, what
All those-
geeky?
No, all the
Real
hard
geekers.
drugs get you geeking,
yeah,
man.
when you're off your drugs, you're geeking.
You're geeking.
Dude, I've never done drugs, so
we were
can't
talking
relate.
about weed earlier. You never been geeking?
And dude,
Listen, man. If you've had one panic attack from weed, all right, you've had all of them. All right.
yeah, 100%. Honestly, if I don't have a panic attack when I'm smoking weed, then I know it's not good. Like I had a mini panic attack when I was setting up the room to do the podcast. For some reason, I'm like, oh, me talking is going to be this huge thing. So I have like 3 fans set up to drown out the noise. I was having a panic attack, and now I don't really care about it. But that's how I know the weed was good. So I kind of have to have the little bit of a panic.
Yeah, like
Dude.
I was saying earlier. Sorry, Dan. I just cut you off.
No,
Yeah, cut the
But,
gas
like-
off, broke up. That's great.
Sorry, I was going on with the weed content where I was like saying I had a panic attack, but I was like, damn, this weed's good.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
dude. Sometimes weed is good, and sometimes you have a fucking panic attack.
Dude, I was driving. I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking smash into another car.
That's great.
That's how
It's a
you
good
knew
thing
it's
you were
good.
driving at the time.
Dude, I used to be able to do it, no problem. And then
Well, you're 26. You're 27 years old, broke up, right? At some
Uh-huh.
point, you're not 17 anymore. It's time to grow up.
I guess you're
You're
right.
also driving a Honda Accord, much like I was making fun of Rhode Island for earlier. Except yours is probably on the newer end of the scale of Honda Accord, so you're
How old do you
kind of
think my
living
car is,
luxurious.
dude? How cool?
It's a 2012, dude. You mostly see
Okay.
like dude, I got cut off by a 1997 Camry this morning on my commute in the rain, and you guessed it, the plate was Rhode Island. It's a
And you
terrible
should-
state.
Dude, you should have fucking done something about it.
See, I would have done something about it if I wasn't already 45 minutes late. So,
Do you think you actually grew up on Cape Cod if you haven't like gone super high at the Wellfleet drive-in and like pulled onto the exit like a fucking idiot, and like some cop looks directly at you and is like, "Looks good to me."
Dude, it was
You know?
coming home. It was coming home, and then go. What's it called? And it becomes the fucking. What was it called? Like the suicide lane or whatever. You know, like
Suicide Alley, man.
you're right.
suicide alley, and you're like way too high driving the suicide alley, and you're just like fucking thinking about accidentally just swerving into the lane. Like every
That's why I
single time.
didn't smoke in high school, dude. I couldn't handle it.
I would leave. I don't want to say like the name, but like you know the house, Stan Cooper.
Oh, of course.
Leave the
And if
house
you're
and I'd
listening, you know the house.
be- and I'd be like, just like,
Dude, it was ridiculous, man, and there was so much pressure to hang at the house in question, you know, and
Dude, we're just putting this kid on blast.
Oh no, he's a great. Like, there's no fucking no. I mean, unless there is, but I have nothing.
engaged to a beautiful woman.
Yes.
Dude, imagine this is the podcast he picks up on and listens to.
Yeah,
that.
But that's so true though, Dan. Because I'd be at that house and in the shed in question, and I'd be like, I can't do this. And my head is like, no. He's like, I'm like, another one.
Another one.
Guys, sure.
Dude, and I remember I threw up once smoking pot at because I remember everybody wanted to smoke backwoods and
Yes.
by choice, and it was like, I think now with the perspective, you know, you realize like, dude, backwoods, like that shit makes you sick, man. Like that's
Dude,
like
it's cardboard that they dip in nicotine until
Yeah.
it gets drip. It's not good. I smoked a backwoods the other day, dude, and I almost, like you said, almost threw up. I'm like, why am I doing this?
it's vomit. At least for me, it's a recipe for vomit, man. Yeah.
Speaking of fucking like high school and stuff, I went on like I think I was in Rhode Island a couple months ago, and I went on like a cruise, and I really felt like I was in high school again. We had to find like a fucking hiding spot. I was like, oh my god!
Wait, did you smoke pot in high school?
Because of fucking shedding question.
He who shall Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, Lord Voldemort.
He should not be named.
Oh, do
Yeah.
you remember the fucking? I mean, we can say it. We don't have to name names. But you remember the fucking stoner squad, whatever they called themselves?
Trap Squad.
The trap squad.
Squad.
The Trap Squad, man. And they used to take fucking I remember they used to take eye rips in the parking lot behind the annex. They used to like rip a bong and then like leave the smoke in there, and then they like hold their eye up to the fucking like
What the
bong
fuck?
to the bong for as long as they could, because they thought that like it would hit the capillaries in your eyes, and like you would feel the high like more intensely.
Oh, what was that stupid game you used to play where you have to like hold it in until the next person ripped the bong?
Oh,
Baseball.
Yeah, like shit like that.
Yeah,
Dude.
man.
That's fucking foul, dude. And the crazy thing is
Your
I
eyes
would
get
think
so
that's
red.
foul in high school, and then 3 years later we went to Lowell, and I would have done probably exactly that. I needed to get out of the nest before I started putting weed in my eyeballs.
But don't you think like this is always been kind of my thesis about my current relationship with pot, because you know I'm very open with I see a therapist regularly, and we are like always talking about pot. It's fucking hilarious. It's like yeah, it's sick, man. It's like I remember at the beginning of our like time seeing each other, I was like, you know, like I smoke pot every day, and like it's kind of like one of the only ways that like I really know how to like wind down after I've like really like worked my ass off the whole day. And you know, she kind of was like, well, listen, like do you want to smoke less pot? And I was like, no, man, I love smoking weed.
No, man.
and she was like, do you think it's like making you like stupid, or like do you think it's like getting in the way of you like doing shit? And that, you know, that was where I had to really pause to think. I was like, would I be doing shit differently if I was not smoking pot every day? And the answer I got to was no. I would totally just fill it with like other shit, like video games, or like I don't know, sitting around scratching my fucking
like, I'm still
balls,
sitting
like my
around.
balls, you know.
Dude, I stopped smoking pot every day, and I started using nicotine again. Just like the hole was immediately filled with something else bad for me.
Yeah, dude, and you know, like I think like listen, man, when I smoke pot, I feel all the fucking anger. Like if I'm in a bad mood for the day, I feel that all just completely dissipate, and it has created so many beautiful like reflective moments in my life. But this is all to say that I think if I had been smoking pot since I was like 13 or like 14, and I'd love to hear your take on this, Pro Cop, because you talked about how you've been smoking since you were 15.
Oh,
and yeah,
He's a mess. So
and I feel like I can enjoy pot more now because I spent so much fucking time just being like such a sober Sally, and like I don't know, like does that make any sense?
No,
to you
it
guys?
does.
Like,
Yeah,
does that
I
sound
know
good?
I've said the same thing. I'm so glad I didn't start until after. So
So I guess
Prokop's
I'm
like the only
one out.
person I know
Yeah.
that smoked younger and still is smoking like heavily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, isn't it funny? Yeah.
what's crazy for me is that like a bunch of kids at school were obviously like stoners, and I was on the hockey team, bunch of stoners, and I was also in a band, but like the kids in my band were pretty straight edge, and there were kids in other bands who were like, you know, rivals with in a way, and it was like, well, they do it and they say they have a great time, and everyone's like, it's a great time. And the Beatles, like I'm a fucking, you know,
And the Beatles.
fucking rock nerd.
Yeah,
so like,
you're gonna be a genius.
Like, dude, you figure out who Jimi Hendrix is, and you're like, this is how he smoked weed. He put acid on his bandana before he went on, like all this crap. And then you're like, so I tried it, like when I was 15, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then you just start picking it up a bit more. Like it's definitely super habit forming when you're super young, and it's definitely not good for you. But like like how you were saying, Dan, about like, would it make me like, would I feel anything else with it? Like I've had this anger and it takes it away. Like after hockey practice, after being like bullied at hockey practice, being like bullied at school, like going home and I was a loser. I smoked by myself, but like I smoked by myself. I smoked in the bathroom, blew it out the window, took a shower, and that was like my ritual. Like I got home, I was in my safe space, and then that stuck with me like all through college. So I was like, smoke weed every day. And just a few like months ago, it was like, do we need to? I feel like we smoke a lot, and me and my wife have just like, we just stopped because we're like, I get like we do the same. It's like you get to the point where like you're doing the same thing too much, and everyone will hit that point with whatever they're doing in their life. But like you got to find that. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I had a fucking panic attack, so I think I found like the spot where it's like, okay, maybe you don't need it, and I'm feeling good with it. So or feeling good without it. So, but at that point in my life, it's you're 15.
Do you feel like, do you feel like, I mean, like, I think that is like, and like all that shit of like, people fucking bullying you during hockey practice and like bullying you in school. Like, I feel like for me, like my grip on all that shit cause that shit's so hard to let go of, you're sitting there like on your way home from school or practice or whatever, and you're replaying all the shitty stuff that people said to you. You're thinking, oh man, is that true? Is that, like, am I like a fucking like, I don't know, like, is that guy going to beat the shit out of me one day? Like that shit's hard to like, that's hard to let go of, man. And like, I feel like that's what's beautiful about ritual, is like a physicalization of like, this is how I'm going to let go of this shit. This is, and if, for me, I think smoking marijuana, and then also, I get home and I play with my cat immediately. Like I blast music through the speakers and I play with I like rap along to like my favorite rap music and like play with my cat.
What's your cat's name?
Oh, dude, this guy's name is in full Dr. Graybo, quotation marks, the Gray, end quotation marks, Underfoot, Esquire, aka Tank. But for short, we can just call him Graybo.
You ever call him by his full name?
Only when I'm getting really serious.
Oh, no.
Dude, he's a fucking... any of you guys have pets?
Yeah, I'm looking.
I have
a cat. I have 2 cats, but I'm with one right now.
Oh, hell yeah, man. So you know the grind. I mean, dude, I am not. It is absolutely wild that... I mean, surely somebody that were in the same grade in high school probably as a kid, right? There's someone who...
No, there's a few. There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few?
I think there's one or
two. Yeah, I can't change I can't be expected to change a diaper every few hours, man. Like, cleaning this litter box is like kicking the shit out of me. You don't know
That's
how
why I don't
hard it
have
is.
a pet, because I know I wouldn't be able to do it.
I also just stress about her. Like today, I was like, oh, I feel bad. She was trying to get me not to leave. And I'm like, oh, I want to stay, City Cat. But
wait, what's the name of your cat? Both of them.
So the one that likes me better, but is at my girlfriend's mom's house currently, is she's called Sabrina Boots, dude. She's mad cute, little chubby tabby cat with she has little white boots.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Sadie Pickles, but I call her Sadie Skunk because she looks like a skunk. And she's like a half Maine Coon, half tabby cat.
Whoa.
She's mad regal, but she's a scaredy cat. She doesn't like people.
Is she big?
She's not. Yeah.
She's a bigger cat. She's definitely bigger than Sabrina is.
Coon, like they're huge. They're
she's very long,
like small dog size.
She's not as big as like she's not as big as like a full Maine Coon, but like she's definitely significantly bigger than Sabrina. who's from the same litter. But Sabrina's heavier, dude. Sabrina's a heavy.
Wait, they're the
big,
same
big body.
litter?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
sisters?
same litter,
Oh,
different
damn.
parent, different dad.
Oh, whoa.
Because I'm pretty sure cats can have multiple dads per litter.
That's oh yeah. That
You think
sounds
cool.
right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
almost
that's true.
positive. I'm almost positive that cats can have different dads per litter.
Like the
when female cats are in heat, they just
I
go
love
around
that, man.
fucking.
they can
So, like-
store multiple sperm in their egg.
Yeah, like they
well, they
fertilize
got
different
million
eggs.
They got like
Oh, they have
like-
multiple eggs, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
So like,
Yeah, did you
when-
guys know that Dan's never seen a naked woman?
Damn,
Okay.
dude, this devastated me.
And
either.
I know for a fact you have because you've. Never mind.
Jeez.
Oh, word.
Word?
No,
Oh, word.
Aaron was there.
I could have been. I was in the closet.
Aaron
Sorry,
was a
my
big
fault.
watcher in high school. That's what. So
Yeah, it was kind of. They called me lurker,
they call me the lurker.
Closet
Yeah.
king.
closet king.
CK.
Dude. So Dan, speaking of we talked about New York before. How has your experience with New York been? Do you think it lives up to the hype as the best place on the planet?
Oh man. Man, there are pros and cons.
Let's hear the
What-
cons first.
Yeah. Let's hear the cons first. Okay.
We're a
man.
negative podcast.
I love it. That's why, I came on for the cultural sensitivity. So
Cultural sensitivity and negativity.
and otherwise just general negativity.
We're haters. Like we're like Hall of Fame level haters.
Yeah.
We'll hate on anything but somebody's, background,
Yeah,
attributes they can't control.
We love
But-
women as well. We're probably going to take some heat because we're interrupting Women's Month. But I think we've had enough for a few weeks, so we're going to get women back on.
The listeners have had enough.
I haven't spoken a fucking word since I got on this podcast. So,
That's true.
but anyways, dude, okay. So New York, here we go. It's,
It's smelly.
it's smelly. All right. There's fucking cockroaches and there's rats everywhere. I work in this like room that is like essentially hermetically sealed in the museum. It has like two doors. Like you need to go through two doors to get into the room, and it's like crisp white walls and like linoleum floor, and like there are cockroaches. Like you just can't avoid it.
That's repulsive.
It sucks, and like so that's one of the pros of having a cat, but it's disgusting. I think people get really pissed off about shit where you're like, holy cow, like I have no idea what's going on in your life right now, but I've seen strangers like ready to like throw fists because one of them was like trying to get on the subway while another person was trying to get off. I was like, it's like, God damn.
No patience. Everyone's on edge.
Yeah, man. And, it's just like, it's tough. It's tough. Like, I'm not from this city. A ton of the people that I interact with are like pretty much, I would say like 80% of the people that I work with and like, interact with on like a weekly basis are from either New York or New Jersey. So,
How disgusting are they as people?
oh my God, the worst. Nah, man, you got to have friends, but
You gotta have friends.
you gotta have friends. No, but I don't know. It's like when you're 25, you're willing to brush off people being really shitty to you because your life is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's kind of okay that like a lot of the food that you're eating is like maybe not the most like energizing and like delicious, like because you're like always on the go, you're just grabbing whatever you can. So it's an acclimation, man. It's the fastest city in America, I think. If you can't if you need alone time, you need time to like breathe in the woods, and you're not like out the ass rich / like have a car. New York might not be for you. You know, it's not easy.
That's the one thing that's always deterred me from there.
Yeah.
Is just you're entering like an anthill. And it's like, once you're in, dude. You're in the whole new world, and it's not really that much space. There's a ton of people.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like when I got here, and like first of all, audition as an actor, you know, as a theater maker, so hard not to get lost in the commotion. You know, I'm like 3 years out of college. It's 2023 and I graduated in 2019. And I feel like I just got my feet on the ground and just figured out like who my friends are, who are people that I can like work with, and people who give a shit about me. You know, it's pretty hard to get people to give a shit about you in this city because everybody's looking for their next leg up. And if you're not like a worthwhile networking opportunity, if people don't think you're worth it, you know, it's not that easy to make inroads.
That's what I was going to ask. Because I wanted to talk about your acting and your. So the thing you just produced, it was a play, right? A comedic play.
It was. Do you mind if I hop into my?
Dude, I was excited to hear about it. Yeah, tell us about the process. Everything. We want to hear it.
All right. So this play is called An Experience with God and My Father, a Divine Comedy. This is it's a one-act play, and it follows the one day in the life of our main character Dante. And Dante at the beginning of the play is informed that he's been killed in a car accident and has gone to heaven. And the good news is there's a heaven, and he went there, and that's awesome. The bad news is his dad is there in heaven, and he freaks the fuck out. And this play essentially works through the main character is working the whole time to process, why am I so anxious about seeing my dad after all these years? What is my relationship to my younger self? You know, what do I owe it to my younger self to be scared, to be not scared? And it kind of plays on that idea of, you know, we've all been told our whole lives, you know, when we die and we go to the afterlife, our family will all be waiting there for us, and it's going to be this beautiful experience. And this play kind of takes the perspective of, that would be a really beautiful experience, but also wouldn't that scare the fuck out of you? Wouldn't that be
100%?
Wouldn't that be super fucking scary to just go to heaven and there all of a sudden, you know, my dad died when I was 7 and I'm 25 now. And so it's been 18 years. If I went to heaven or fucking hell, you know, or whatever, like, and I saw my dad, I mean, I don't know what the hell we would talk about, you know? Like, I'm a completely different person. Like, the Red Sox fucking suck right now. Like, what the hell would we...
How's the weather?
You know, what the fuck?
But he'll be like, I know they suck right now.
Yeah, that's why I fucking died.
So, would you say your real life experience was the inspiration behind you making this play? And would you say that what you worked out in the play is what you would imagine you working out with your own father?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, I think what has been really beautiful about this process, we just got finished with it was between a month and a half. It was like a month and change. We workshopped it, which meant that we were meeting maybe once every other week to read through the play, and then I would get notes from the cast, and also Liam, because Liam directed the reading of it. He was hugely influential in the formation of the piece. Yeah, shout out to Liam. And so like a lot of the process, when you're workshopping a play is, does this make sense? Has what I wrote here, does event A lead into event B, and can the audience understand why that happened? And it's funny, you write stuff and you lose track of yourself, and something that makes sense in your head, it's all of a sudden read out loud by people, and you go, oh fuck, that doesn't really make any sense. Like fuck, like why the hell did I write that? So that's been a lot of the process of it, but the whole point of writing this play is definitely, it's definitely been to like work out my memories of my dad. I have some good memories, but he was just like really like big blue collar, like he was a mechanic. He was 5'9", but he was fucking huge. He was built like a boulder, and like so like traditional Massachusetts masculine, had a wicked strong New England accent, and I'm nothing like that. Like I'm this like fucking fruitcake ass, like theater doing, like not that good at sports, like
what are you talking about? You were a baseball stud, dude.
Bro, I was good at keeping the books, but let's move. But yeah.
Freshman JV, man. Let's be real, dude. We carried the team, dude.
Hey, only complete game I ever pitched in my whole life.
Only reason you had to throw the complete game is we had physically no one else.
Exactly,
dude. It was the worst. It was like me and you back to back every fucking week.
And you bet your ass, after that complete game, I stared up to the heavens and I said, "Thank you, Papa."
That was for you.
That was for you, Papa. No. But fucking, so yeah, that's like what this play is like. It's like I'm sure you guys remember, like back in high school, like we had the fucking Sturgis wishing well, and like one time in front of like the whole, like half the school, I like flipped a quarter into the wishing well, and I was like, I wish my dad would come back from hell. Like
Jesus, we had a wishing well. First off, I do not remember that.
It was a fucking recycling bin placed under the ceiling because when it snowed, it would leak through the ceiling.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And it was in the middle of the hall.
That is so funny, dude.
Yeah, man. But so like that's what the play, like you guys know that like my whole life, like I have dealt with that trauma in particular, losing a parent, and or just going through grief as a young kid. Like you develop this like twisted, fucked up sense of humor that I feel like it has really come into like popularity recently with shit like particularly like Pete Davidson is always talking about like the tragic death of his dad, and I was really inspired by Bo Burnham. Even though he's lived a pretty privileged life, and he admits that, he is so introspective, and he really is just so admitting of the fact. And that's the whole point of writing a play, I think, especially when it's your first play, is like you have a lot shaking around in your guts, and you got to get it the fuck out there. And it's not doing you any good. Like you can make jokes all about it. You can make jokes all you want about it, but your jokes are going to be better once you dig into the shit that's actually sad, and like what makes me sad about this? What makes me angry about this? What even makes me fucking happy about this? That I lived my whole life without a dad, and the guilt that comes from that, and it's so funny, like you work through that shit until you're probably fucking dead. I don't know.
it's the whole point. You got to work it out.
Yeah, like
Who knows
yeah.
if you'll ever get the true answers, but the point is to get to the answers. It's all about the quest.
Yeah, man, and like I think it's like this other brilliant podcast that I love to listen to called the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. I don't know if any of you guys have ever listened to it.
Duncan
It's-
Trussell.
Yeah,
I like
Midnight Gospel.
Like that's that. Like what you were saying, Dan. Like you have like a real artistic vision, and that's beautiful. And what Midnight Gospel is like a real artistic vision that also like deals with that.
Yeah,
So, like,
man.
I
That was
get
one of the
where you're
huge
going with
inspirations.
Duncan.
Yeah, that was one of the huge inspirations. Is he has this beautiful episode at it's the last episode of the season. They only made one season of this so far.
I don't think they need to make more though. Like it's so perfect.
No, it's such a good standalone project. But it's he has this episode where he does a podcast with his mom, and his mom has stage 4 breast cancer, and he's essentially talking to her about the fact that she's going to die, and it's going to be soon, and it's crazy because this episode of television was released I think 3 years after she died, and it's this magical reflection on the fact that like the realization that your parents will die is intimately connected to the fact that you will die. You know, your own coming to grips with what happens to your parents is so much of the same battle as what's going to happen to me, you know? And so I think
that's
that,
the toughest part of parents our age, like, is we're starting to kind of like, it becomes more obvious that they're people and they're not like these like superheroes in your head, where it's like you kind of just like look at them and you're like, I have both of this mixed up into one. I can only imagine what this thing's going to play out as, which is just so interesting to have.
Yeah, it's and that's what fucking sucks about it, you know, is that parents are their own people too, man. It's like, and problems that get passed down, you know, like generational trauma is so fucking real. Like
We talk
it's
about
so
that
beyond
episode
real.
on this.
Oh my god,
Our
fucking
generational traumas.
Yeah.
hit me up. What?
Dude.
Coop, you got a good one. You and your mom, you got a loving relationship.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to put that in the record. Heaven forbid she listens, but
no, but you've explained it in person. And like, not
yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say you have a bad relationship with your mother.
No,
that's terrible for me to say,
it's the as we were talking about earlier, the Irish guilt. Yeah. I mean,
dude, the Italian
it's such a weighing force. Yeah, but
same thing.
Yo,
so
sorry,
Dan,
yeah. Go ahead.
The question I have for you, because I'm very interested in hearing you talk more about the process, but from the first time the pen hit the page till when the curtain dropped, what do you feel like the most difficult part of the process was for you?
Oh my god, that's such a good question. You know, writing is such a nebulous thing. I have two answers. Here's the first one. Writing is such a nebulous thing, and like you said, pen hits the paper, and the paper is blank, and you have absolutely nothing, and you have to make something out of nothing. And there's this beautiful quote by one of my favorite authors, Anne Lamott. She describes writing as it's as though you're driving across country in the dark, and you have no, you can't see 100 feet down the road. You don't know, at least the way that I write. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in 20 pages. I can't map it out that way. But you can drive by the 20 feet that you see in front of you according to your headlights. And that's all you need is to keep being able to keep going and keep creating something, even though you have no idea, even though it's scary as fuck that you're driving in the dark and you don't know what is going to come like 5 minutes from now. The other difficult part about writing a play for me is killing jokes, man. Is you write these, so many jokes are, because the thing about jokes is freshness makes jokes funny. You know, you need freshness, and the first jokes that come to your head when you're writing something, they seem so fucking hilarious. You're thinking to yourself, oh my God, how am I so goddamn funny? How the fuck did I write this? Why haven't I been doing this my entire life? And then you go and have people read it out loud. Cricket, 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 not a single fucking laugh. And then you got to go back to the drawing board and you got to say, all right, so this joke sucks. Like this is not, despite the fact that I thought it was fucking hilarious, nobody else thinks it's funny. And it's killing the energy of this piece. And you got to kill it. I mean, like, not to keep referencing famous writers, but Stephen King, like one of his big rules of writing is kill your darlings. You gotta move on from the shit that you thought was working, but really isn't. So yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, and fucking sitting still, dude. I just want to like go into my living room and like watch Seinfeld. Like, writing can be fucking boring as shit.
Yeah, dude.
So when you write, do you write just like, do you have to be in like a room, like nothing else, no distractions?
It's gotta be one of those situations where, it's gotta be concerted, you know, it's either gotta be like at my desk, and my door is closed and my cat can't come in to say hi to me and my phone is like across the room, or, it also like works on the subway. Because I don't have cell reception down the subway, and you know, I'm like packed like sardines with these people. I can't even like pull my fucking phone out of my pocket, like, because I can't bend my arm. So all I'm doing is I take my notebook out before I get on the train. I have just enough space to scribble out whatever I'm thinking, and so yeah, you just got to make time for it. You know, you gotta write. I've been taking a break for the past like week and a half because I've been writing my dick off, but you just have to make time for it every day, and that's the hardest part about it. It's like fucking working out, dude. Like if you don't work out, you're not going to be able to lift any weights. If you don't write, your writing's going to be shitty. So
did you so how did you find like the people for this?
It's let me think.
Do auditions or?
Dude, yeah. We did auditions. It was a little bit of a chaotic process. I had a director at the beginning who cast the entire thing. And the cast was mostly composed of my friends. I had one friend from Brandeis. I had shout out Amy Olive. I had a couple of friends from a play I'd been in before. Shout out Roxy and Josie. And shout out Annie, who is a friend of a friend, and I met very randomly. But she loves to smoke weed, so I fuck with it. But she, so it was cast by one person. She, due to like just difficult life circumstances, had to hand it off. And Liam took over, which totally saved my ass. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of got whoever would fucking be in it, and there were only, and I didn't plan on acting in it initially, but we couldn't get enough people to audition. It's so hard because I don't have any money, man. Like you can't just like you can't expect a bunch of people to turn out if like you're like, well, you're just kind of doing this for fun, and like also maybe somebody will see you and think you're a good actor, but like other than that, you're not going to make any money off of this. So like everybody was doing this for me as a huge fucking favor. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, man, and that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about theater, dude, is like you kind of just have to when you don't have the resources, when like you don't have the people, you just got to make it work. You have to find some way to make it happen, and that sometimes includes switching the like people who are working on the project, or in my case, like I was just like, fuck it, I'll act in it if I have to make this happen. Because you know, if a piece of art is worth it to you, if it's important, you know, you're going to make it happen. Just it's not going to be about convenience. So
100%.
yeah. You know those you guys ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
They're fucking, I mean, I could go on and on about all the people that I think are so inspiring, like fucking Duncan Trussell and Bo Burnham and shit, but the guys in Always Sunny, they have this like 20-minute special. It's called the Making of the $20 Pilot, and it's basically about how they just did not have any goddamn money to make the first episode of It's Always Sunny, and the whole philosophy of it is like, so what? We only had like $20 to spend on like a piece of art. Like, so what? We only had like a shitty camera to film it on. Like, you can't wait for somebody to hand you $10,000 to make the perfect version of whatever you want to make. You know, it's
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and you know that's fucking awesome because those guys are like geniuses.
Oh
Yeah, no, especially listening
One
to
of them's
like,
Luigi.
The one of them
What?
is Luigi. Look what happens. Yeah, Charlie Day's Luigi now.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, it's an interesting play on their part, but I don't
The
know.
Luigi guys.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of the Luigi guys.
Yeah.
But
guys.
yeah, no, listening to their podcast was really cool. Like especially in the earlier seasons when they were just trying to kind of like slap shit together,
Yeah.
and like because they like believed in what they were doing, but like obviously like they didn't have the means yet, and it was like kind of like faking it till you make it. And then it's like obviously once they got to that point
Yeah.
where they got the respect, they could put the money into it, and it kind of is what it is today. But like the older episodes are so funny, dude. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
like the rawness of it is really is some of my favorite. I love Always Sunny, but
Yeah, dude. They make such fucking. It's underestimated how beautiful that show. Like Charlie, particularly Charlie Day and Danny DeVito doing their shit. Holy crap!
Those two working
Yeah,
together
dude.
is great.
yeah, they
Improv.
have a very good dynamic.
They improvise most of that shit, man.
I
Like,
believe it.
especially-
It's like you can see Danny DeVito laughing half the time, dude. He has to like trying to walk away.
He's just like fucking like licking his fingers or like slapping his gums like off to the side while they're having like a plot developing conversation, a very important expositional conversation. I love that. I love
Behind
that,
the
man.
scenes is funny. The bloopers is really funny to watch on YouTube. Love that show.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. It is cool. Like the shit that they play back, like Charlie Day, like improvising on piano, and he like does like 4 different versions of that like one scene where he goes, "There's a spider. He had like 5 other takes that were like all pretty much just as funny, like but completely unrelated. He's awesome. He's the man. Merrimack Community College.
Yeah.
Right.
From,
Really? I did not
North
know
Shore,
that.
yeah.
He's from Rhode Island, Middletown, I think, wherever that is.
That's
Mm.
mad funny.
If
But-
he can make it, we can.
That's right. But Dan, so now that so how many shows did you do? Like, how many performances were there total?
We did 2 performances of it. It was at this theater called the Vino Theater. We handed out a bunch of wine at the beginning so that because it's a comedy and we wanted everybody to get nice and loose and laugh at the funny jokes.
Good move.
Exactly. Also, it's way easier to get people to come to your play if you promise that there's free alcohol on the other end of it. Like people have come to Brooklyn for like shitty things where the alcohol wasn't free. So like how much better can you sell it? You know.
Yeah, people go to Nets games.
And it's, oh my god, man! Thank God they fucking suck. Now I can go to cheap NBA games again.
Speaking
But-
of NBA, dude, check the parlay.
Oh my god, dude! Zion, all of my best play. Quick sidetrack, guys. All my best players are fucked. Zion is injured. I got fucking like. I was banking on Kawhi Leonard playing a little bit more than he actually is, and that's not panning out. Like, who? Oh, I got fucking Shea though. Shea Gilgeous. He's the man.
He has 30 right now.
The goddamn Magic fucked me.
I kind of had a falling out with all the people in my fantasy league though. So what are you gonna? So
How do you get beef? How do you beef with people in fantasy? I need to know.
I swear
Dude.
to God.
No, I beefed with these people in real life, man. And like, oh, dude, do you ever date someone and then your
Play
friend
fantasy
fucks,
with them?
fucks that
No.
person, and then your friend fucks that person? You guys ever?
Ooh.
No, kids, eh?
Ooh.
Can't say I have, but I feel like I'm on your side already on this one.
It's a magical feeling.
I would be on my hands and knees probably.
Oh, it was. It's
I'd be on the
not
toilet.
easy.
Curdled up, throwing up. Sick to my
Dude.
stomach.
But let me just say about the play. It's I was expecting maybe 4 or 5 people to come to each show. I was like nervous as shit. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so awkward. Like, it's a comedy, but like it's gonna be like a empty room, like, and like we're all gonna be like pulling our collars, like sweating, like, oh. But it like fucking like 30 people came to like
Really?
each show. It was like almost a full house at both shows, and
Fuck yeah, dude.
you know, like people laughed and like, and you know, there was some shit that didn't work, and I know I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board to like, because that was the whole point of doing it. You know, it wasn't a full production. We just wanted to get it in front of people and see how, or I wanted to see how people would react to it, and whether it was resonant and comprehensible. But yeah, man, it was all I could ever ask for. You know, we handed out comment sheets at the end of the process, and people told me people would write down, you know, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and Liam is being very nice. He's going through them. He's going to sift out any of the notes that are like, fuck you, you fucking suck, you know. Hopefully nobody said that shit about it, but like, I probably don't need to read people being like, man, you suck as a writer, you should really give up, you know, like.
Yeah, like
That's
when I
not-
wrote in the yearbook, pretty much.
Yeah, you should give up, dude. But like, you know, I'll look at those comments, and I'm sure some of them are going to be fucking stupid, and some of them are going to be really fucking smart. And you know, I love feedback. I love hearing what people think about shit. So,
You
Well,
think
it's
I'm gonna
definitely
keep it
better
as a
than like
one-act
Insta
play?
comments.
oh my god, dude, Instagram is it's the modern bane of my existence. That's how, if you're an artist and you're not like an Instagram-ista, everybody's like, what the hell are you doing, man? How are you going to get your brand off the ground? It's like, I hate this shit.
We're
I
on
don't know.
Instagram, and then I've been seeing your name up a little more often.
I've been trying to get active. I've been trying to post stuff that I think is funny, but like, I feel like I'm not. I just feel like it doesn't. I don't have the voice for Instagram, man.
The voice for writing.
I actually write real shit. So, dude, that's the
Post
thing.
your turn
Yeah.
playwright.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's I don't know. It's like, it's a lot easier to post on Instagram now that I have a cat. And but like, I mean, dude, the thing is, I feel like people's lives aren't that fucking interesting. And
Not at all.
my life is like most days I don't do anything that anybody would ever give a shit about. Like, and I kind of prefer it that way. Like, that's kind of what it looks like to have like a fruitful life. I feel like is like you're like not necessarily like doing all the very screen grabby moments. You know, you're not like, and no, and I think some people have the eye to make an average situation look glamorous.
I think those people are a little narcissistic, to be honest.
And they're genius too, man.
Well, Dan, you're in New York, so first you need to get your reservations for Carbone, or whatever it's called.
Bronzia? Or
whatever.
I thought Carbone was the hard one.
Yeah, whatever that is called. Some Italian restaurant, that has like a 4-year-long wait list. Wait 4 years. Take a picture of the pasta. Location. Bada bing, bada boom.
What's the place that they go to in American Psycho? What's that called?
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm trying to come up with it right now. Dorsia. Can you give me a reservation at Dorsia?
Yeah.
Dude, do we have any Willem Dafoe fans in the
dude, I love the Lighthouse.
I mean, yeah, sure. Never mind.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, dude. Sorry, Joe.
Wait, do you know what I'm talking about right now, Cooper?
What?
Yeah.
You can say it.
What?
And William Dafoe's beating his meat, dude, on the seagull or something like that.
You mean the Lighthouse?
Oh, Aaron, I think I know what you're talking about.
No, Joey knows what I was talking about.
Aaron's girlfriend has the biggest crush on William Dafoe, and it's
That's a bad sign for you, Aaron.
I know. I'm like, what?
What was the other one? Steve Buscemi. That was the other one.
Yeah, them two.
It's like the two. She might be the only one. To be
I
honest.
know, I kind of dropped to my knees when she told me that one.
I think some women just love those men.
It's attraction. It isn't a like. It's like a sexual attraction.
Yeah,
that's horrifying, dude.
It made me not.
Buscemi, I can't tell it all. That one's so.
I just had to shut it down, and I was like, "We can't talk about this."
Is it the fact that they're fucking like decrepit? Like,
I feel like the female gaze is truly so much different than.
Dude, I don't know.
I mean?
I love. All I know is those actors are both fucking awesome, dude.
I mean, yeah, they're awesome.
Like confidence, like to be confident and look that decrepit, and be.
That's true.
It's just like a childhood thing, though. It's one of those things that was like when you're like.
That makes it weirder. That makes it weirder.
She like the green.
I mean, how does that make it weird? It's just when you're like 9, you're like, oh, like that person's like cute, or like, and then
because they've looked like they were 90 since we were born.
Tina Fey, man. Tina Fey.
Ooh,
Tina Fey is a good one.
Have you seen Willem in Platoon, though? He doesn't look like an old, decrepit monster.
Well, that's when he was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he just looks like a young, decrepit one.
I think he was probably or something.
Dude, there's this Willem Dafoe actually made his start in theater, and there's this fucking hilarious set of journals by one of his best friends, Spalding Gray, from back in the 70s. And basically, as the story goes, Spalding Gray breaks up with his girlfriend, and Willem Dafoe starts dating the girl. And he's good friends with this guy Spalding, and Willem Dafoe moves into the apartment that this couple, this recently separated couple, was living in. And they move in a mattress, and they put up a piece of cloth to separate their rooms. And this dude, Spalding Gray, is writing in his journal about Willem Dafoe, being like, fuck Willem Dafoe, fuck his fucking stupid face. I can't stand the way that he smiles. I can hear them fucking in the other room right now. Fuck it's awful. It's so and you're like, this is Willem Dafoe that he's talking about right now, man. Like,
dude,
what?
Dude,
he does seem like he with all due respect, he does seem like kind of a weird guy.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at some point.
Am I wrong?
No, I think he's a freak. I don't think I wouldn't trust him if I met him in person.
Really?
I'd be like, you're like a freak.
I wouldn't.
Willie boy, you're fucking a psycho.
I feel like if you could still put people in a circus, he'd be like a main attraction. It'd be like, come see the freak.
Come see the freak.
Dude, what
he jacks off on seagulls.
He's definitely got something like loose up in there, but he's a good actor.
Dude,
you can see it in his eyes, dude.
In his eyes?
Yeah, he's got like fucking like especially in American Psycho, dude. But you see his eyes, and you're like, those are robot eyes, dude. Those aren't real people eyes.
Apparently, in that movie, his direction was that in alternating takes, the director would be like, okay, play it as though you know he's a murderer, and then he'd say, okay, play it as though you have no idea, and they would just like,
I read this. Yes,
Yeah, I
read this.
saw that too. And
so that's why you
interesting.
get that's why you get the sense in that movie. You're like, wait, does he know? Like, because he in some of those takes he does know. Like, that reminds me of what they told Jeff Bridges for The Big Lebowski. They fucking told him, he would ask the Coen brothers before every scene, hey, do you think the dude smoked weed before this scene? And if they said yes, he would just rub his eyes super fucking hard.
Dude, what a masterpiece, dude.
That's the stuff of true artists. True
I mean,
legends.
yeah, dude. That's why actors deserve significantly more money than me, because I would have never done that. I would have just smoked weed before.
Dude, we should put all the fucking actors in fucking Oklahoma far away from the rest of everybody else.
Well, that's what California was supposed to be, but then everyone moved out there.
Yeah, because everyone thought that they were special, and you're not. Let these circus freaks.
All right,
live in their little Truman Show.
Here's the big con of living in New York. All right, all these fucking actors with all their I'm one of them, man. All these fucking actors with their fucking dreams, man. And like everybody is like so goddamn self-important and like so and it's like there's a time and a place to spill your guts all over the place and tell people your life story, but I swear to goddamn hell, like it's like every other person I meet who works in theater. It's like by minute 5, I'm like, okay, I know like everything about your life, and this is why you're special, and this is why you're destined for this. And it's like, oh my god, it's so much pressure, dude. It's like, can we just be friends? Like, can we just like order like a fucking Gansett and like talk shit about the Celtics or something? I don't know.
That's like stand up, except instead of it being about how special they are, it's always about how sad their life is. And it's almost like a competition to be a more depressed piece of shit. One time I told this other stand-up comic that I had a girlfriend, and he was insulted that I would be doing stand-up comedy with a girlfriend. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you want me to tell you. And then there was another one where we like cut something from the podcast, and he got pissed, and he's like, you guys aren't true artists. I'm like, dude, I have a 9 to 5, bro. I don't need to be sitting down in HR having them play that segment back and ask me if I think that's appropriate.
You know what makes you a true artist, dude, is the fact that you fucking get out there and do it. Dude, I'm so proud of you for doing stand up. Like, that's so cool.
Thank you.
How many times have you done it, man?
So I've done it for about a year. I kind of hit a point in the last like month or so where I've been I switched over to a new job. So I've been commuting every day. My girlfriend's in law school, so I've been trying to like help her out when I can and stuff like that. So, and I hit a point where I had like a solid 7 minutes that I really liked. I got it on tape. I've been doing it in shows for a couple months, and I'm like, I definitely want to start writing some new stuff. So that's what I've been trying to challenge myself to do, and then get back into it in the next month or so, like really grinding it again.
Yeah,
just because once I'm up in Boston, it'll be a lot easier. Like, it was really easy in Connecticut because like I lived with my girlfriend, so I saw her. Like, it was easy. Like, our schedule lined up kind of perfectly, where like I would eat dinner and like chill for a bit, and then I would go out and do stand up and come back. And like, the scene was really kind of smaller, so it was kind of easier to kind of make connections. And then I came out to Boston, dude, and I was like, I've been a little bit lost with it, and I'm like, I know the stuff I've been working on is good. I want to make some new stuff, but like I also need to like dive into the connections part of it, because it's such a big aspect. Networking is such a big aspect of it, and I just haven't been in the headspace for it as of late. But I appreciate it. No, Dan, seeing people like you, we said it to Capucci when he came on, but like seeing people that we've like known in person in our real life doing these like things that make them happy and that they're proud of and putting themselves out there is kind of like what eventually got me to kind of get off the edge. It's like it's interesting because I never would have saw myself even getting up on stage before, but like
performing, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's really weird because it's like kind of like how you were saying earlier when you like a joke, you write it out, but then you kind of have it in there and you need to cut it out because it doesn't fit. But it's interesting to see like some of the stuff that we talk about in the podcast and stuff is like very funny, and I think it's really good and entertaining and like this and that. But then I'll take that premise to stand up and try to make it work, and it just doesn't. And I'm like, oh, that kind of fucking sucks. Because it like kind of demoralizes you on what you did, and even though it worked in the podcast format, it just didn't work when performing on stage. But it's like, dude, it's really crazy. Like, I never really thought until I started performing how deep everything you do when you're up on stage is. Like, it's really hard to like when you're new to kind of like not just tell the jokes funny, but like how you present yourself. Like that stage presence is such like a unique thing that's been the most challenging part for me. Is kind of getting that like stage presence.
Well, dude, I think one of the things that really helps you probably when you're doing this is the fact that you're just like one of those people that's like fucking hilarious without trying to be, you know?
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you.
No, dude, I remember. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? You would like say shit under your breath, like for as long as I've known you, where people would be like, oh shit, that was so fucking funny, but I need to hang in there because like this teacher's gonna scream at me.
Dude, freshman year, Coop, we all remember.
Come on, man, you're so funny naturally, man.
Well, I appreciate that. No, it's been weird to kind of like figure out how I want to make that like work though, because I feel like a lot of my like humor is more situational. Like I'm not a great storyteller, I feel like, which is kind of tough because like you got to be somewhat of a good storyteller on stage, and I feel like that's just not my strength. So that's been more of the challenge of it, because I feel like in this kind of setting where we can kind of bounce off, you can kind of give the quips and stuff like that. Like I feel like is just where my humor fits better. But it's like the podcast grew when we were like doing other shit, like we were doing Twitch and we were doing like I was doing stand up and stuff like that, and I was active on social media. It's like that's when we like saw the little blip of kind of like it growing, and it's like it's obviously something I got to keep doing, but it's like, dude, it's weird because it's definitely not even something that I want to like long term have be my main thing. I don't think I ever want to be like just strictly like a stand up comic. Like the ultimate goal would be if we can get some fucking people to pay for a Patreon.
Yeah, man.
And then
hey, listen.
Joe Rogan.
Hey,
Joe Rogan is actually the end goal.
If you motherfuckers are listening to this, all right? If you motherfuckers are listening to this, it's all about the fucking Patreon, okay? You put your gut, you go under your bed right now. You find every fucking nickel and dime you got, bitch. All right? Is it okay that I say bitch?
You can say bitch, yeah.
All right, you fucking nickel fucking hoarding. Okay, I see you sitting there fucking shoving little chickpea puffs down your throat. Fucking, you're useless, aren't you? Just subscribe. Just put some money into the fucking Patreon.
Hey,
just put
$3.50 for our Patreon and $9.99 for our OnlyFans. If you support us as friends, you would support our way of making multiple. I just lost 2 bets on the parlay, dude. If you guys want gambling content, you need to start paying for the Patreon.
I can fucking see what you're doing right now, listeners. All right, I see that you put the $3.50 into the Patreon, but you did not put down the $9.99 for the OnlyFans. And I'll tell you what, that's pretty upsetting. That's pretty upsetting for me. And really, what I would say is you're not a true artist.
You're not a true artist.
If
You're a fucking fraud. You're a fraud. Simple as.
Listen, if you're gonna let these fine young men be so emotionally naked before your ears, and you're just gonna completely shun their beautiful, glistening, sexual, throbbing, delicious bodies. Did I say enchanting?
You did not, but you definitely need to throw that in there.
Can we restart? Say it again.
I'm so fucking mad. Sorry, I lost track of where I was fucking going. God, I'm so pissed off. Jesus. Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
did Matt Capucci talk as much about did he talk about death as much as I did?
He talked about people in Kentucky losing their homes to tornadoes, and he had like kind of like a weird kind of happiness about
it got
his
morbid.
attitude. Yeah, he got really like these tragic things. He was like, "Oh, like Florida flooded and all these people lost their homes," but like he was on camera and he was smiling when he was telling us that. So it's kind of like a really
dude.
weird. It was kind of really weird. It's almost like he wishes for destruction.
But no, he just wishes for atmospheric disturbance.
Dude, exactly. He just knows that you commoners are just your pawns in the ultimate goal, which is him reporting on a massive tornado.
Twister.
So you got it, dude. It's a good thing Capucci's way too busy to be listening and it's 55 minutes into this podcast, or else he might be offended. And
I was gonna say, are we?
No, we could keep it. He didn't actually get happy when people died, but he definitely enjoyed the tornado. So I'll leave it at that.
That's probably what it comes from. It's like if that's your thing, like what do you think gun manufacturers like think about? They're like, well, it's working.
Yeah, at least somebody's fucking using them.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking that is so fucking hilarious. I wanna say Matt Capucci got almost every single one of our snow days right in high school. And if anybody went through pressure in high school, this kid used to have fucking teachers be mad at him if he got a weather report wrong. If he was like, "Oh, we got a snow day tomorrow," and then we ended up having school, you bet your ass the history teacher was going to come in the next day and be like, Mr. Capucci, I thought we were going to have a snow day today. What was that all about? Teachers had him on Facebook so that they could like have his minute by minute weather reporting. It's fucking hilarious. Kid's a absolute beast.
No, I mean the fact that he's like actually doing it
Dude.
is like insane to me.
You know,
it shouldn't be insane because it's like
The way he
course
did
he
it
is.
too, like he made his own, like, his own degree basically at Harvard, MIT, and then
Can we buy
actually-
shares in Matt?
I think so.
I want to be a private investor. I'll
if
do
he
it.
could make money off of it, I think he would let us.
But he'd
don't
have
have
to
to have
sell
a
it
say.
for he would sell it for $50. And then you guys would get the scraps.
But the scraps, this is $50 billion, so I'll take the scraps of that.
How are you gonna buy those Air Jordans, man?
Never buy new shoes again. Remember that. So, Dan, I got a question for you about New York. I know we're kind of backtracking, but I have to know. Is
I
it
love
true
backtracking.
that New Yorkers are the only people on the planet that know what a Subway is and the only people on the planet that know what a corner store is?
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna stop you at corner store, bro. You know what it's called. You know what it's called
Bodega.
in New York.
It's called a bodega. It's called a bodega.
It's called a bodega, baby. Come on, man. Let me say, okay. So first of all, I think New Yorkers are pretty cognizant of the fact that they invented the subway, as well as in everything. They invented everything else. If we're talking, linguistics.
Italian food.
Italian food came from New York.
The Bronx accent.
The Bronx. Oh my god, man! But it's hilarious, man. I work on Sundays. I get into work on Sunday at 8 a.m. and it's fucking Night of the Living Dead on the subway, man. You've never seen anything like it. It's like a perfect. It's a beautiful mix of, unfortunately, homeless people laying down, sleeping on the subway, but then also, right alongside them are people who are way too hungover to sit up straight from Saturday night. It's like we all are brought down to this like level of like just needing to like lay down on the subway, and it's kind of a beautiful human moment.
We had Coop. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No. I want to hear about your subway.
I was gonna say
yeah.
we've had Cooper, Joe, and I have had a beautiful moment in the subway. which involved. What did he say to you, Cooper?
He said that I actually organized the Buffalo shooting. And that I took away his family, his
Oh
job,
God.
and something else, and then he pulled a knife on us and started giving us a little bit of a Joker kind of dialogue where he's like, "This is my knife, whatever." And
Dude.
do you want to know why I call it that? And I'm like, what?
Tell me.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I'm
please,
all ears here,
tell me.
buddy.
Wait, New York? Was this in New York?
No,
No, this was in Boston on the Red Line.
Yeah, see, man, like I feel like I saw just as crazy shit on like
a red line in Boston.
the Red Line, and also I used to take like an hour on the Orange Line to get. I lived in Porter Square and I worked in friggin' Mattapan, so I would like bike to the Orange Line, take the Orange Line all the way across Boston, and yeah, man, I saw some wicked sketchy shit on the Boston subway.
Wicked
It was also my
sketchy
fault.
shit, kid.
It was my fault too, because before we got on the subway, I think I said, you can quote me if I'm wrong.
Aaron said, and I quote, I feel untouchable in this city. And not 5 stops later, this guy's pulling a knife. And I don't think, at least Aaron, I didn't take the subway for a few months after that. I don't think Aaron did either.
I hopped right back on it.
It's not what I heard.
but to the point of bodegas, man, it is awesome because it's like you have a cultural location on your street where sometimes people go in to buy shit, but most of the time people are just standing around there watching the television with the news on it, like it's politics or the Yankees game or whatever the fuck is going on, and people just hang out, and like there's this there's these like drunk guys that are like there around the clock 24/7, always like I like saw a dude like with his car running, like passed out drunk, like in the driver's seat in front of that bodega recently, and I was like, this guy is fucking killing it.
This guy rules.
Yeah, I was like, this guy knows what's up. But it's just like it's fucking hilarious. Like I don't think we really have that equivalent like where we're from, where like you just have a place where you're supposed to spend money but you don't, and you just hang out there and like do nothing.
Joey and I kind of have one.
We have
What?
basically a bodega,
But it doesn't have it's the market in Dorchester. There's the characters, the usual suspects who hang out. There's a cat in there.
Oh hell yeah.
I don't want the cat to be there.
They're not
Like,
bad
I'd rather not
people.
have my
They're
food.
definitely not bad people, But sometimes I'm like, well, it is Tuesday at noon. Do you have a job? Probably not. But I'm not going to bother you about that.
Dude, my
Only
bodega has one fridge dedicated exclusively to single bottles of Corona.
Like the big ones or the
No, not 40s. No, just regular old, just single bottles of Corona. And like these dudes who hang out, like I don't think some of them feel comfortable enough to just down it in like the back of an aisle in the bodega, but most of them just buy a Corona and then they go outside onto the sidewalk and like chug it in like 2 gulps, and then they go back in and watch the Yankees game. It's
that
like
rule. See, our area. It's like there's the market.
yeah,
And right next to it, there's the sandwich shop, right, or whatever. And then right next to that is the liquor store. So you see the guys come out of the liquor store with like a bunch of nips, bottle of something, and then they just sit like in the little vestibule area and just drink all day.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. I mean, dude, I always wished that I had the heart to be a good day drinker, but I suck at it, man. I'm absolutely terrible. I failed I don't know how I didn't fail college, man. I never learned how to do that.
Are you a night drinker or?
Man, I don't know. It's like alcohol is such an interesting substance, man. I love obviously smoking pot. I love doing shrooms. I don't really do white shit. I've never
You don't like Adderall and cocaine.
Nah, not really. No, I'm already such a hyperactive fuck that I feel like
Yeah, that makes sense.
and I have so much anxiety to deal with that I feel like I don't know. And in general, I just prefer drugs where I feel like I can like sort through shit by using it. Like marijuana is a very reflective substance. I think obviously like some of the most profound realizations I've had in my life were from dosing particularly mushrooms. But
That's when
Same.
yeah, I mean,
Cooper learned what empathy was.
Yeah, that's what I just said. But yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's pretty important, dude. That's pretty sick.
yeah. No, up until then, I just kind of was going through and was like, I didn't even have what is it called when you have empathy for yourself?
Self-compassion? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even have that. I don't even know what that is. I haven't picked that up yet. I haven't gotten the right dosage, but the empathy part I did pick up on.
Dude, I once had this friend who we did a huge dose of shrooms, and he only wrote one word in his notebook the entire time. And at the end of the trip, he shows it to me, and it's the word lust trailing off to the bottom right corner of the page, and the like letter T is like in like a bunch of zigzags at the bottom. and he's like, I have transcended lust.
Dude, that's the thing, dude. Like, I feel like at a point though, like it's too much where you're just like what you're thinking about you think is so profound, and then realistically, like I was watching music videos with a couple of my friends after I had this like whole thing. I'm like, am I a bad person? I had this whole fucking thing, and then I'm watching music videos, and it's like blew my mind. I'm like, it's like I've never seen a music video before.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like watching these people dance around with money on like boats and stuff, and I'm like, dude, all we really need is money, bro. It's solved. And like in my head, it made like I just said something that like no one's ever said before. But in reality, I think I just woke up to what reality is.
Damn obvious, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, wait, can I while we're on the topic of shrooms, can I tell you a pretty funny story about a Catholic priest?
Please do. Please about a Catholic priest? Yes, please do.
All right. This is a good one. I was hoping that I would find some segue for this. So basically, one of the big inspirations for this play was this one really profound shrooms trip that I had. I was on Nantucket at the time, and I was working at a natural history museum. I was doing the same shit that I'm doing now, taking care of animals. It was COVID. Didn't really know where my life was going. Like 30 miles out at sea, and one day I like take this big dose of shrooms, and I thought that it was going to be like 2.5 grams, but it turned out that it was like 5. And
it's a small difference, yeah.
Yeah, just twice as much as I thought I was going to do. No big deal. And so I whip it up into a tea, and I drink the tea down, and nothing's happening. And I like start smoking a joint, and I'm like, oh well, like these shrooms must be dead. Like fuck, And then it hits me like all at once. I'm in this conservation land, and the grass is shimmering, all the classic trippy bullshit that everybody talks about. And I get to this cliff. It's Nantucket, so there's this beautiful cliff at the edge of this conservation land. You look off into the distance, the sea is there. You see all these ducks walking around down by the shore, and I'm like coming up harder and harder. I'm like, holy shit, this looks like a fucking painting. And behind me, I hear this voice, and it's like, do you know anything about the grass?
The grass?
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like the grass. And I turn around, and it's this like 60-year-old white dude wearing an EMS vest and a BC hat. And, he, goes up to me and he says, yeah, the grass. Do you know anything about the grass? I've been looking at the grass this entire time, and I've been wondering what type it is. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
And I'm like, dude, what? Like, am I like, because I've done a good amount of psychedelics before, and for anybody who is listening who hasn't, you don't just like imagine that like fucking like white dudes in EMS vests are like going up to you asking about the grass. Like that's not what drugs.
No, that was in reality. That was like
That
one of
was
those
real.
moments where you got like a reality check, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Like there's other people in this universe.
Yeah, that's the thing about shrooms. I think anytime I'm like tripping, I think like the whole world is just staring at me.
Yeah, man. And so he's asking me about the grass, and he I say, I'm sorry, man. I don't know anything about the grass. I really don't know. And
Dude,
not an expert on grass, sir.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, man. I know some shit, but not this. And
some shit.
but he goes, what's that rhyme that they have about grass? And I'm like, he goes, sedges have edges, brushes are hollow.
The fact he expects you to know.
I'm like,
Where the fuck are you from, bro?
How did you remember this on shrooms?
Oh, it was the most profound thing that's ever happened to me, man. He goes, he goes, sedges have edges. What's the third thing? Well, there's a third thing. And I'm like, dude, I didn't say this, but I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm high as shit, dude. I have no fucking idea what the third part to your nursery rhyme is. Like, and so he's looking down at the beach, and we're just sitting there at the edge of this cliff together. I'm high as shit, and he's this old dude. And he goes, what are the ducks down there? And I'm like, oh, they're buffleheads. And he goes, no, I know what the buffleheads are. I mean the orange ducks. And I'm like, I'm kind of starting to think like, okay, this guy's kind of an asshole. Like he's asking me all these questions. I don't know the fucking answer to them. Like, does he know I don't know the answer to them? And he's just like trying to like be smart with me. And he, so he gets to talking about how did you end up on Nantucket? Why are you here? I explained, I got COVID happened. I got a job there. I needed housing. I took the housing. I say, how did you get here? He says, oh, I'm a Catholic minister. I'm filling in for the Catholic priest on Nantucket. He has COVID. I say, wow, that's really cool. Do you work at BC? He says, yes, I'm a master. I teach theology at BC. Essentially, he's an expert in the proceedings of a Catholic mass. So we go on talking. I'm like, okay, oh, so like, are you from Massachusetts? He says yes. He's from Chestnut Hill. He goes on to tell me that he is getting his bachelor's from UMass Boston in environmental science. And that's why he's asking me all these fucking questions about the birds and the grass and all that shit. And I'm just getting higher and higher and higher, so peaking on shrooms. I'm like starting to wonder, like, is this guy like just God, like coming to me to like talk to me about like, I'm having about the planet and shit like that. I'm like I'm just like, I'm bursting. I need to tell you that I'm on drugs right now. And as soon as it's about to come out of my mouth, he goes, well, it was nice talking to you. What's your name? And I said, Dan. And he goes, my name is John. And then he just turned away and walked off and left. And I don't know, man. It's something about a man who believes, whether you believe in God or not, which I'm pretty sure I don't. Being approached by somebody who cares about the planet and feels touched by God, and you just so happen to be on mushrooms. I mean, what the hell?
I would have lost my shit.
Yeah, the fact that you made it through this whole thing, I would have been like, you would have seen me like geeking and twitching. He would have asked me if I was on drugs. Because I was scratching my arms, like.
As soon as he asked about the grass, I would have been.
You know what's the craziest thing that he talked about? He was a Catholic priest. He was saying fuck all over the place. He was like talking. He was like, fuck
he's
Trump.
From Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, man. He was from Chestnut Hill, dude. He was like, fuck Trump, man. Like he's done everything that he was like, he's done everything in his power to like fucking like destroy the planet. Like I can't believe like we've gotten ourselves to this position, and it's the day before Biden's inauguration. And say
Oh, January 6th. We were talking about this.
yeah,
Yeah,
man,
We were
this was.
recording.
There's your alibi.
Whoa, that's where I was. I was tripping balls on shrooms talking to a Catholic priest, man. Oh my god, it was insane. But yeah, he basically was like just saying like his major point was he kind of turned to me at one point and said like, your generation, it is all up to you guys. And that's like fucking awful. He like was very sympathetic. He was like, man, that is so awful that it's all up to you guys. Like, I can't believe it's gotten to this place. But
To be real, they really fumbled the bag, dude. His age group. It's there.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah, man. I mean, he was very cognizant of that, and he was kind of like, and so he was thankful, he was very like cool and like saying like, man, I'm so happy that like it seems like people do kind of give a shit about the earth, and like I don't know, he was a beautiful fucking person, man. He was a beautiful person. And I wondered afterwards if I should have told him I was on drugs, and the right answer was
Like, sir.
fuck no. Hell
By the
no.
way, we just had this huge, profound conversation, and I was tripping. So,
But what if he was like,
have a good night.
next thing you know, he's perma tripping because he tried fucking
Dude.
shrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I went straight home. I called everybody fucking important to me. I was like, oh my god, there's a god. I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. Like, there's a presence in the universe, man.
Did
And,
people think you were unwell when they got that call?
No, most people I called were psychonauts themselves, and
I see.
and they kind of were like, they were cool. They were like, that sounds really awesome, Dan. Also, don't forget that you're on a bunch of drugs right now. Which
Hey, BT Dubs.
yeah, BT Dubs, you're high as shit. I don't know if you realized that, but it's so funny. It's one of those drugs where you don't feel high. You don't feel like you feel extra clear.
I don't know about that.
Actually, as soon as I said it,
I know what
I thought
you
about-
mean.
I know what you're saying. Like, you can forget sometimes that you're on it. It feels like you're just living, but then you're like, oh yeah.
I find it with the
But then
come
there's-
down. When you come down and you're still trippy and you can't actually have proper conversations with people, but you're like, I'm sober. I'm clear.
I can get behind the wheel right now.
What'd you just say?
I said I can get behind the wheel right now.
Oh my god, that's the
Yes, this man
scariest
is
shit
cute.
ever.
This man.
Dude, I will not name the person, but someone from our high school who has not come up so far. I did acid with him in the those dunes in Truro that like
Yeah.
fucking don't do shrooms there, or don't do acid there.
Are you not
It's
supposed
scary.
to go on the dunes?
No, you are. You can. It's like a walking path, and like fucking like Eugene O'Neill, he like wrote the Iceman Cometh in those dunes and shit like that. But I went and like did a bunch of acid with this kid, and it was so it was the dead of winter. We were down by the beach. It was frigid. I wasn't layered up enough, and I was like, we need to drive to Provincetown. I need to go inside, and
I need to go inside.
I need to go inside. And all I'm saying, I don't think I'm ever going to get in a car with somebody who was driving on acid, but
You're
that
gonna
was
tell the story.
that was one of those moments where I was like, I don't think this was a good idea.
Was it like just like
yeah?
was it the moment like the things that happened behind the wheel, or was it more just the fact that you were?
I couldn't tell how fast we were going. I couldn't tell how far in front of us other cars were. I was shocked that we were able to abide within 20 minutes of the 20 miles per hour of the speed limit. I mean, I had no sense of time or space. I was like, I barely even understood what a fucking car was, dude.
Well, you were fucking fucked.
How many?
Yeah,
times?
that's.
Just one, or
I did one, but it was A1 LSD, and
yeah. Oh, I had an A1 LSD. Oh my gosh, did it send me to another realm?
it was just one, but I was like Lucy in the fucking sky with diamonds, dude. I thought that I was like it was we're surrounded by sand. I thought I was in the middle of fucking Lawrence in Arabia. I was scared shitless.
Yeah, it's always great that someone who was probably in a very similar mindset to you felt safe enough to get behind the wheel.
The last time I was on acid, I listened to Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and we were like, oh man, this album fucking slaps. Let's go listen to this album. And we pull out Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, and don't listen to that album on acid. It sucks.
That's fucking clutch. I love that. Dude, what is it? Just that they're like, is it that their melodies are like really cliche? Like, what is it?
It's that it's painfully cliche. You're totally right. It's like,
Yeah.
And you're so clear-headed that you just get it too easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
just
Yellow Brick
it
Road
sounds
is
so dumb.
Yellow Brick Road is so out there, but also like Elton's like a great songwriter, but like
Yeah.
it takes you places. It's beautiful music.
Yeah.
But then Rumors is just like, we wrote a bunch of pop songs and only 2 of these songs off this album are actually really good. And
Yeah, man.
the album does not start with the good songs, so you're like, we got to turn this off.
I was gonna
This
say
is ruining it.
Dude.
it was called a vibe killer.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys ever listen to the band Music from Big Pink by the band?
The album?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh my god,
I am a band fan, but like I'm not like well versed.
This is this shit is one of the best albums ever to listen to, and like you just feel such a sense of it brings out such a sense of camaraderie. Bob Dylan helped write it, so like a lot of the lyrics are like really like subliminal and fucking cool.
Yeah,
dude,
I just love the weight, you know.
Yeah.
But
I feel like this person's comfortable with me saying their name. First acid experience I ever had was with fucking Jack guys.
Dude,
There's a good chance that I know this. Not like saying he definitely.
Yeah, he came to Brandeis and was like, I have, with the plan of like, we're gonna do acid, and we took it, and it was absolutely fucking magical. That kid's a beast. That kid can do.
Dude, he went to Lowell, dude. So we let it.
Yeah.
He would come to our frat all the time. He would like sit at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh my god, man!
Get plastered, dude. He came like almost every Friday for a long time.
Kid can hang. Kid can absolutely hang.
Oh, I mean, he would absolutely hang, dude.
He, yeah, man. I mean, I remember once the shit that got me off of like the fact that I don't like white powdery shit largely has to do with the fact that one time Jack and I did a bunch of ketamine with Liam. Don't listen to this, Liam's parents. But
Like the horsey horse.
yeah. But Jack Waters' parents, you can listen to this. Actually, Jack and I both don't have dads, so there's a 50% chance removed.
Jack and your parent can listen to this. Sorry.
Oh, dude, it was so funny. I mean, not funny when Jack's dad died, but when Jack's dad died, I remember
It's not funny when Jack's dad died, but when Jack's dad.
It's not funny, but after like 3 weeks, like, because he and I would make jokes about my dead dad like throughout all of high school, and like after 3 weeks, me and Jack were like, oh, bro, like we're unstoppable. We're an unstoppable comedy team right now. Both of our dads are dead. Oh shit,
Dude.
Yeah. But he's fucking hilarious, man. But we did ketamine together, and it was one of the worst fucking experiences of my life, man.
Really?
Oh my god!
I think I remember hearing this story.
Yeah, he told me after.
Did you do too much, Dan? Did you make the mistake?
We were watching TV, which I learned was a mistake also. And I could not focus on anything larger than a nickel-sized portion of the television screen.
Took way too much.
I was K-holed like fuck, dude.
You're supposed to do like enough to just get a little.
Oh man, I couldn't feel my body in the love seat.
It feels like a more clear-headed drunk if you do it like not to absolutely trip balls.
God, I wouldn't. What I experienced, I would not wish on my worst enemy. It was fucking awful.
Yeah, he specifically like reached out to me because I asked him about it, and he's like, "I had a great experience, but never take this drug." Like, he was like,
You gotta go
seems
to a
like he was,
rave and take it.
PTSD. I'm never gonna take that one, but
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like, like the rave shit, dude. Like, I love dancing and losing control of my body. So, like, in theory, I feel like that kind of dissociative shit would be awesome. But, like, nah, man, it scared the shit out of me. I feel like maybe it was the fact that it was white and powdery and I just got bugged out by that partly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any stress going in probably doesn't help.
You're not going to have a good time if you're taking a drug and you're thinking, is this drug going to be terrible? Probably not. So
That was I feel like that's why I'm kind of done with psychedelics, to be honest.
dude, except for when you do an ayahuasca retreat and you become an NFL quarterback in like 5 years.
Yeah,
Dude, imagine 5'7" NFL fucking star.
Dude, yeah, I mean,
130 pound.
how much? I think the idea is psychedelics are this awesome. They have risk. They have risk associated with them. You can get really fucked up and scared, and it can scare you out of your boots.
Yeah,
But
Scare you out a window.
yeah, exactly, exactly, man. Fucking CIA. But but the but is it that it shows you, it gives you a window into this state that is achievable without substances that you can,
that's what I've thought about that stuff.
you know, it's like, oh, okay, now that I see that there's this state in which I can be maximally empathetic to other people, compassionate with myself, willing to
Or just learning how to handle like really mentally scary moments.
to get through shit that is hard.
Even if you're not
hard.
getting through like a specific thing, but just being like way too fucking fucked up, you know what I mean? And having to just learn that you can do it. Like you'll make it through this.
Dude, and that's what Dark Souls is as well. So
yeah, I've heard. I don't think I'm gonna even. I just got addicted to Fortnite. Dan, that's probably the biggest news I have to tell you outside of the
Fortnite carts.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the actual game.
Well, dude, you're supposed to enjoy them in combination.
Yeah, play a little crank some 90s and.
Oh my
god! I'm at the point though. Like I don't like. I
Yeah.
mean, we all went to college. We all experienced. We're all at different points, but it's like I don't think I want to get introspective anymore. And I know I'm not saying that in like a selfish way. It's just like, if I want to do drugs, I want to just get completely fucked up, and that's it.
What about extrospective? Like, you fucking ever try fucking looking out, baby?
What's that?
You know, you stop doing the introspection. You start wondering why people are so fucking. Dude, because this is the natural progression for me. Is you realize, oh fuck, I'm just a little baby in an adult's body. Like, God, I'm so like, I need to be swaddled. And dude, I'm like sometimes I'm high on the subway and like I'm looking over at people and I'm like, God damn, you guys are all just fucking babies that want your goddamn mom. Like, you ever try that?
And then you realize you're actually looking at her.
And then you're like, oh shit, that's a fucking baby. And
That is a baby.
I've been staring at it for 10 minutes. And that's why this guy fucking pulled a knife out on me. Oh shit, you like how that came full circle?
Dude, that's a writer right there, man. Knows how to put a bow on it.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Pro Cup, what are we looking at for time?
We're at like 1:45 right now.
Okay.
So we went we went off. That was great.
Yeah, we got material.
Anything you want to plug?
If you have any bits you were like itching to get out.
Yeah, there's like 3 people that probably are listening at this point, so you can say about anything.
Oh my god. Well, let me just say I have no idea what the fucking internet is. But I have I have heard that there is some fucked up shit going on in the wide world out there. And you little bit, yeah, just knock it off, guys. Just knock it the fuck off. And also, just put some fucking it's just $3.50 in the Patreon. It's not that fucking hard, guys.
$9.99.
99.
We don't have that set up. So if you guys
got
give
the
us
bundle
the Twitch
pack.
subscription,
Bundle
the Twitch,
dude.
Listen,
$15 you'll get both.
there's a fucking Patreon. If you don't take your fucking money right now and put your money into the Patreon, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Okay?
We'll find you.
Do I have anything to plug? I don't know. I have a website. You can find me at
plug.
Yeah. You can find me at sandouza.com. That's spelled SANDOUZA.com. And I post the shit that I've been writing recently. Any updates about like my performing career. It's the database for all the shit that I do as an artist. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Souza_Dan. That's SOUZA_DAN. Pretty fucking simple. Let's be honest. If you can't spell Dan, I don't think you're not gonna be connecting with the shit that I'm putting out there. Okay, we only
Gotta go over your head.
This is for the big brains only, guys.
yeah, this shit's gonna go way over your head. So
If you can't
really,
spell Dan, you're listening to the right podcast, though. It might not be for his content, but
We're here for you, though.
bro, all I know how to fucking spell is I-90. All right. Fucking yeah, man. I don't know, guys. Get fucked. I don't know. Do
Fuck
some.
you.
Woo.
Fuck you.
No, I don't. I mean, in a good way, man. Go do your shit, man. If weed gives you panic attacks, I don't know. Go have a panic attack, or don't go have a panic attack.
don't do it while you're driving. Don't
Hey,
do it while
listen.
you're driving, guys. I'll tell
Hey,
you.
I did not say the pussy word, but it may have been said. The little pussy. And you know, we just want a fucking united Ireland. It's not that fucking
Dude,
hard.
we've been begging for
Dude,
it.
those people don't deserve United Ireland. I'm just saying.
Joey unmuted
should-
for that. He said thank you.
It's a running bit on this one.
Yeah, that's a running bit. It's a sad, pathetic country.
That's called fucking whoa.
Unite them now. They're a sad,
Dude.
pathetic group of people that
They're
needs to be
fucking.
united.
They're an
isolated.
Eastern European country with a fucking Google headquarters, whatever it is.
with Apple headquarters.
You know, Apple headquarters.
Basically Baltic.
Dude, they brought the fucking ring all the way to Khazad Doom. You can shut the hell up, man.
They didn't. We're a little salty because they weren't open for brunch at 11.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
11 a.m.
Yeah, 11 a.m. on a
get it,
Saturday,
but a little bit
and they
more.
weren't open
No
for
intention
brunch.
over it. Yeah, dude,
Where the
get-
fuck am I supposed to drink 4 pints of Guinness?
No,
my
literally
apartment?
though.
All the hours were like early to late. We're like, how about you put times there, you sick fuck?
Yeah, I remember on we were there on a Wednesday or something. We watched a Patagonia store close down at 2 p.m. And I was like, you guys serious?
Dude, you go out at night and you're like, oh, there's so much buzz. Like, there is a lot of buzz, but then you're like, realize that there's not a single thing besides bars. Nothing.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah.
Sorry for
Dude.
going on the tangent. We just hate Europe in this podcast.
Listen,
Yeah, we got to get the European slander in at some point.
Listen, I think that's called, what we call this in the sciences is convergent evolution. I think it's beautiful that you're having so many conversations about a united Ireland in your podcast.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. People always listen. They're like, oh, you guys don't stand for anything. Oh, you guys hate women.
Well,
Again,
we
don't
fucked
hate
up.
women.
We fucked up earlier.
Like we said, it is Women's Month and it's great. And we had 2 weeks of women and it's awesome. But we needed a little break.
Yeah, we had some fucking guy time.
So we had some.
We're into a lot of things. We fuck up a lot. We were into Shia LaBeouf for a bit before we found
were
out.
very heavily into Shia
Yeah,
LaBeouf
big
until
Shia
the
guy.
message came out.
Until
Yeah.
which isn't a great look for the brand.
Obsessive.
So
amount of-
we're on Jeanette McCurdy now, so she can definitely come on the podcast. Like we said, her book sponsored one of our latest episodes where we did talk about how many months it would take to beat off a dude in jail. So we really appreciate Jeanette's sponsorship on that episode. It was really great of her to do. And I think it was something that she really wanted to associate with the book about her dead mom.
New book, everybody.
Yeah, man. Dude, shout out to all the fucking people out there that have a dead parent and you might just hate them a little bit, man. Hey, listen, all right? You know, you're fucking... It is what it is, you know? And Jeanette
Can't win 'em
McCurdy...
all.
That's what it is.
Well, it is what it is. And that's why, Jeanette McCurdy, if you want to connect me to your agent, I can, once again, be reached at Sandouza.com, SANDOUZA.com. It's fucking hilarious, Jeanette. You're going to fucking love it.
Hey, Jeanette, he is comfortable with feet stuff. I know your agent is probably going to have a feet stuff thing in it just because that's
Only
just
if it's
the
filmed,
road.
man.
That is
I only
true.
do that for the big bucks.
We're the same way. That's why you guys will be paying $9.99 for the OnlyFans, $3.50 for the Patreon, or $15 for both. So I mean, it's a great deal coming up soon. Make sure you go follow Mr. Souza on his website. Do you have a recording of the play the play at all, or did you not have it recorded?
Someone did record it. We're working on that right now.
Fantastic.
You know, just need to make sure that you know, there's nothing fucking horrible with the sound. Because it's a
I can
kind of
voice over if you want, if the sound isn't good.
I think I was actually
Like-
really hoping that you could do the Spanish dub.
Yeah, can I do the Spanish dub for like blind people though? So it's kind of like me just explaining what's happening.
Dude,
Doesn't that make your
yeah,
job more
but that's a
difficult?
fucking thing that exists in theater.
What's it called?
It's called, I don't know. But they put they'll like have seats in like new theaters where it's like an art museum where like you have headphones like linked up to your chair or something, like, and there'll be a person telling when a character, like a new character enters, there will be a person saying like, Evelyn just walked in wearing a blue shirt. She sat down next to Sean. And then you'll listen to the play happen. Well, you're
For free.
well, now we're talking.
Yeah. See?
All right, perfect. Cool. No feet stuff. All right.
No feet stuff. But Dan, thank you for taking time to come on the podcast. It was great to hear about everything and catch up.
Fucking pleasure.
Dude, absolutely. Make sure you go listen to our last episode, which had Marianne and Kelsey. Kelsey's
Woman,
been
by
really
the way.
trying to
Real
get on
woman.
there way too much. Real woman, by the way, women that we appreciate and gave a platform. We actually asked them what, just did a little, if you haven't watched the episode yet, we asked them what their biggest problem as a woman is currently, and I can't remember which one of them didn't have any issues. So that means equality has been achieved, guys.
That was Marianne.
Marianne said that
Kelsey
she
had
didn't
a
have
problem
anything,
with a
like
crystal
catcalling or
mommy.
something.
You guys like being
calling? Yeah, that was
you guys like being men?
I mean, yeah,
I think it's
100%.
Yeah. I fucking hate it.
Definitely,
to be honest
it's
with you.
definitely better.
It's better, but I fucking hate it.
I feel like
guilt
it's
and
only going to
privilege
get
is
better
annoying.
too, because I feel like there's going to be a natural wave where there's going to be a comeback, and it's going to be nice to ride that wave in. I feel like we're on the wave down right now. The wave crashed. We're all adrift at sea, and people like Andrew Tate and other people are trying to throw like life vests to people. But if you just hold out, that wave will come, and it's going to be great. So I'm excited, honestly, to be a man for the future. To be honest, I hope more women take over in control and power.
Yeah, I want to sit back.
I think the best case scenario is they solve all the problems that men have been causing forever,
I'm
and
tired
that's
of being
great.
hard.
And then they're right. But then if they ruin it, then we can pass the blame to someone else. So I think it's a real win-win for scenario for us as men to kind of take a step over. And that's kind of the message of the month. I've said it on every episode, but I wanted to kind of wrap up on that, is that we respect women. It's time for you guys to take, and it's crazy that we keep on getting bashed for hating women by Kelsey, because I think we've been nothing but, we only know about 10 women in general, and almost every single one of them has come on the podcast, except Jack and Danny. Danny's coming on soon. But other than that, all the women have been on that we know. We don't know many women. All right. So we're trying to give them a platform.
I count as like half of one, so you know.
That's fantastic. So we're up to like 11 and a half now. We had someone who's non-binary on, which I think is extremely open-minded as a podcast. People are like, "Oh, you're an all white guy podcast," and I'm like, "Yeah,
We're an all white,
mostly straight podcast." And it's like, yes, those may be true, but we have done nothing but give platforms to people. So when people like Kelsey bash us, we take it personally, because I think besides the AI god, the only people we've decided to bow down to is letting women take control. I think we've unanimously said that. So we'll continue with Women's Month next week. Dan, thank you again. And thanks for listening. Bye.
Love women. Peace out.
We love women.